partial birth abortion is sick. It's like grab the kid and smash his brains out before you can fully get him out of his mom. And it's, I don't know, it's barbaric, it's sick, it's a nightmare. I don't know what to say about it. I mean, I have no record because I've never had a position where I could vote on anything. But that's how I feel.
Let's see. I could go deep, but who's the lady that who's running the Right to Life? What's her name?
Jackie Fensco.
Who was before her?
Don Slade.
Oh, that's that. I don't know those names. Not only am I pro-life, folks, I'm anti-abortion. There's difference. There's a difference. It used to be anti-abortion, and all of a sudden they come up with pro-life. You know, they're trying to sneak around everything again. I'm anti-abortion. I'm against the death of any child, any race, any religion. I'm against it. The reason I got involved in politics 40 years ago was because of abortion. And that's why I'm here. Thank you.
No abortion, anytime, for anything. I served on the board. One of the proudest things I've ever done is serve on the board at Benedictine High School. And if you want to see an active pro-life group, Alan Shaker in front of the abortion clinic up there with Father Gerard, is something else. I've been involved in pro-life things. I mean, that's not even an issue to me. And there's just no abortion for any reason.
I'm a registered nurse, mother of 9 children. I am absolutely anti-abortion, pro-life. I am anti-abortion. There is no exception for any reason to interrupt that child's life or any human's life other than being a hardened criminal and deserving the death penalty. Between conception, regardless of how you were conceived, to death, and that also goes as far as, let's see, it's how you were, or degree of disability. I don't care what disability, degree of disability. So for somebody to say, well, the child has, problems, I'm sorry, that human life has value. All human life has value, regardless of disability or the way that you were conceived.
I am a strong proponent for anti-abortion, and it's not because I'm pure at heart. It's because I'm a pathetic sinner that had an abortion. And to this day, the pain of that decision will haunt me forever. So I too stand down at Shaker Square to share my story and plead with those young women not to make that mistake. Thank you.
I believe that this is the biggest stain in our country since the beginning of time. And I think that is the main decision. There is not anybody that should be in office that is pro-abortion. Mm-hmm. And what a shame that we have a president that is pro-abortion. What a shame. And I hate to say it, but I blame the church. I blame the church.
I agree.
I blame the church. Why did we not get out there and vote? Now, I'm not saying we, I'm saying we as the church, because I'm part of the church. Part of the body of people that claim to be Christians, that put people in office that support such atrocities.
Yeah.
This is American Holocaust that's going on. And it goes back for people, the Christians not getting involved. From years ago, we allowed prayer to get taken out of school. We allowed these things happening little bit by bit, and so this is why we have got to every one of us need to do something to get involved and change the course of this nation, because judgment's coming. You know, I'm gonna, judgments is here, is it red? Okay, I'm done. I'll get on my soapbox. You wanna shut me up?
Yeah, judgment's here, man. Judgment's here. You can see what's happening to the country. I wrote a piece for the, they called me to want me to write a piece in Plain Dealer. It's called Murphy's, Believe It or Not. I started off that piece. I think that the conservative movement started with when they passed the abortion law for the okay abortion. I think that's how it all started, the conservative movement. And then it moved up from there. That's how important this is. So I think the Catholics left the Democratic, you got me talking. The Catholics left the Democratic Party, they went into the Republican Party, and I think the Republican Party double-crossed us. That's what I think. That's why we're here.
Okay, we're going to give each candidate now 1 minute for their closing remarks, and hopefully they'll be able to stick around for a few minutes, and if you have questions you want to ask specific candidates, then you'll have time to do so. So we're going to start in the same order in which we started at the beginning of the night. So Ms. Verdi, you would go first, please.
It's been just a real honor to serve in this capacity. And really the first 2 years, I really cut my political eye teeth, so to speak. And I really appreciated Dan. He's really taken me under his wing, showed me the ropes. And so I really feel like I am even more qualified for the next 2 years in this capacity. And I'm excited to serve you again. And I thank you for your vote.
I hope I have the opportunity to serve you. And it's not because I'm so smart, and it's certainly not because I'm so perfect. But I went behind the Iron Curtain in '76, and I lived in the communist era for just a couple weeks, but it felt like it was forever. Since then, I've gone to a number of third world countries. I know what the police state is like, and how you live in fear all the time. I'm passionate about America. I'm passionate about our veterans, because without our veterans, we don't have a country. And I'm also most passionate about our Lord and Savior and what He has provided in terms of our liberties and our freedoms. And I want to carry that banner down boldly, because we need God in this country. The Republican Party won't save America. The Democrat Party won't save America. We better be on our knees asking God to save America.
I agree with what Linda just said. The state central committee is who needs to save the Republican Party. For the health of the Republican Party, to revitalize, re-energize it, and to bring it back to its conservative values, the principles we believe in. We need to insist that the candidates the state central committee endorses and finances adhere to the same principles and constitution that we do, we the people do. I also am a mother of four service members. 2 are Iraq combat veterans. I would like to return the state and nation back to them as far as where they gave so much. They gave their life. Our veterans give their life, limb, and everything they have without hesitation. I would like to serve. This is a non-paid position, and I would like to give back to our state and our nation the way that our veterans have given to us by leaving them with candidates that are statesmen and can lead this state and this nation back to the principles we believe in.
I'm fortunate enough to be an admissions officer for the United States Military Academy at West Point. I'm going to be on the board of Northern Ohio's USO. We need our service people funded. My son is a two-tour man from Afghanistan. He's currently at Fort Stewart. I hate what I see happening to our military. I hate seeing it dragged down. We need to strengthen that. I like being on the State Central Committee because it gives me a voice. I do go back to Ronald Reagan, and if you remember Ronald Reagan, what was his one thing he wanted to do in his presidency? Defeat communism. Everything else sort of came along. That's why, if you're with me 80% of the time, you're with me. That's why he said that. In Lake County, I've taken a lot of heat, because I'm not afraid to say where I stand. One person came up to me after one of the meetings and said, I want to talk to you about it. That's Tom Hack. He's sitting here now. Tom and I dialogued back and forth for a year and a half. And Tom's endorsed me. And I'm very proud of that, because I'm willing to work. I want to hear, but I want to get the voice to these other people and try and bring them around. We're never going to have the Congress and the Senate that we want. But we got to get the best thing we can. And as I said, as far as I'm concerned, it's the military, Second Amendment, and life.
Well, I gotta spend this time for my wife. We're running as the Murphy team, and she is also running for the position, for the female position on the 25th. She's a behind-the-scenes woman, gets everything done, works hard. She ran my campaign when I ran for treasurer. She ran my campaign when I ran for, what would I run for? Commissioner, thank you very much. Anyways, she does a heck of a job. We have 3 children. They went through college. She ran them through college on how she did it. One's a doctor. We have 5 grandchildren. She's with the grandchildren now, and she's fantastic. Does a heck of a job, and we'll save on gas going down to Columbus. Both of us appreciate. We're going to represent you in Columbus, not vice versa. We're going to represent you. You have a problem, you call us, we take that problem right to Columbus. That's the way it should run. Thank you very much. Appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Well, I would, I guess, conclude the way I began. We're in a mess right now on so many levels, in so many ways, morally, spiritually, our economy, our military, our lack of respect abroad with the bully nations who push us around. I mean, this is exactly what we had under Jimmy Carter. And there is a way out. We took it. I helped us take it by working for Ronald Reagan, and I saw it work. We can do it again. We can do it again. We don't need to have shared socialist misery. There's a future out there of boundless prosperity and a new birth of freedom and decency, but we have to take it. And running everything through government is not the way to do it. When the government does anything, you can be assured of 3 things. It's done inefficiently, it's done very costly, and it's done corruptly. With exemptions and waivers being given out for contributions and backdoor deals you'll never even hear about. That's not the way to live. That's not going to give our children or our grandchildren a future worth having. So I say we go back to Ronald Reagan and do it again. And then hold it.
Okay, that concludes the candidate forum portion. Please don't leave yet. I got a couple of announcements still. But first, I would like to thank all of our candidates for coming this evening and to present themselves. So if you'd give them a round of applause, please. I'd also like to thank our timekeeper, Siobhan Justin.
That's right, Siobhan.
It isn't any fun to try to stick that colored poster in the candidate's face and let them know the time is up. I'd also like to thank Brian Massey for co-moderating with me this evening. And I'd also, yes, I need to thank our videographer, Mark Brezik, for recording the meeting and for doing that faithfully over a long period of time now. I'd also like to ask everyone to stand if you have worked for one of the candidates that we've endorsed, Matt Lynch or Kim Laurie, in either stuffing plastic door hangers, or delivering them, or making phone calls, or having a yard sign, or having a car magnet sign. Would you please stand? And also, if you're running for precinct committee, also, if you're not already standing, thank you folks for the good work that you're doing. It's greatly appreciated. Okay, so everybody should have received a ballot on a third sheet of paper. Did everybody get one of those? No. Who did not? Okay. There's some in the back, they'll get you that. What I'd like for you to do is to fill out the ballot for your district. So on the back of that sheet, list the communities that are in each of the districts. So if you would vote for the candidates in your particular district, and you can put them on, either collect them up now or put them on the table as you leave this evening. So a lot of you have volunteered. I'd like to need to make a pitch now for further volunteering, because you have the opportunity to really make a difference this time. The races are going to be, I think they're going to be very close, and all the work that we do can help make a difference. That includes, so here are your options. You can pray. We need prayer. Phone calls. You can make phone calls for Matt Lynch. We have sheets here with the phone numbers and instructions, and those will be available. We have campaign literature that can be delivered. We still have some precincts that need to be delivered. We have some bumper stickers for Matt Lynch in the back. We have yard signs in the back. Those are available. If you don't have a yard sign and you want one, please take it, put it in your yard. If you live on the last house of a lonely street, take a sign anyway, because it'll be more likely to be seen there than it will in my garage. There are a lot of signs. Make sure they're out. Facebook posts. If you're on Facebook and you see a post about one of our candidates that you like, share that post. Tag your friends on it. Get it out there. And then there are opportunities we'll need some volunteers for the day of the election. But I'd like to have our most prolific phone caller tell you a little bit about her experience with making phone calls. So, anybody not like to make phone calls? Okay, you need to listen to what she says.
Thank you, Chuck. I'm Nancy, and Nancy, Chuck's wife, and I have both been making a lot of phone calls. And you don't have to have the name Nancy, by the way, to make phone calls. I assure you that. But I just want to tell you a couple examples of experiences that I've had in making these phone calls. He gives me a sheet of 29 names, 5 sheets. Okay, that's about 150 calls. And it takes me maybe about an idea. I'm one of these, if I start a project, I'm going to finish it. I've got to do it right now. So I'll maybe do a 1 sheet in 2 sheets a day. And I enjoy doing it because so many of the people I get to talk to. Sometimes, like today, I made 29 calls. I didn't get to talk to one person. They were all, I had to leave a message. Or their phones are disconnected. You'd be surprised how many people, naturally, they're disconnected because they're going to cell phones now. So that does make a little difference. So some of those names you're going to be crossed off. But I experienced talking with a 94-year-old gentleman in Kirtland. Let me tell you, this man was so educated on what is going on. I was totally blown away. And we had a long conversation. I ended up we talked for maybe a half an hour, and telling me exactly what he believed. His philosophy was just like mine. We had so much in common, and when we finished, he's going to vote for Matt Lynch. Now that's the other thing. Why I'm doing these calls is for Matt Lynch. And I also discovered that many times I was able to talk a person into voting for Matt Lynch because they were undecided. And after I spent some time giving them all of the attributes of Matt Lynch and why we need him in Washington, and they were convinced afterwards, yes, that that's what they would do. I talked to an 89-year-old woman in Willoughby who was that way. She wasn't too sure about voting at the primary because she didn't know any of these people. She didn't have a computer, so I couldn't give her the website. But after I spoke with her, again, the same kind of thing, giving her all of the details about Matt, you know, she said, I think I'm going to apply for my absentee ballot and I'm going to vote for Matt Lynch. Now, that was just really encouraging for me to want to go on. I talked to a 24-year-old young man who he and his wife are going to have their first baby in July. He is scared. He is scared for the future of his child. And they're very concerned, and he thanked me profusely, couldn't thank me enough for calling him to talk about Matt Lynch and how we need to send him to Washington. He agreed with me. At the beginning, he was kind of undecided, but when we finished, he was sure that that's what he wanted to do. I talked to a 23-year-old teacher who hates Common Core. And so we had a lot in common there, where we talked about Matt Lynch also hates Common Core. And we need to get rid of it, as many of you do. So my encouragement here is to please, if you can't do other things like walk the sidewalks to go up to the door with these packages that we did stuff, you all have telephones, even if you use your cell phone or your land phone, whatever it is. Please help us to get Matt Lynch. I know you all want Matt Lynch to go to Washington. We need him there, and this is one way that you can all help. Nancy's going to tell you how you can help right now.
Same thing. I hate making phone calls. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate this too. But it really turned out to be nice. A lot of times you do end up. It takes about half an hour to do a sheet. If you do 2 sheets, I do try to do 2 a day. It takes about an hour of your time. Nobody is rude if they're not interested. They hang up. A lot of times you just leave a message. I always leave Matt Lynch's website. And a lot of times when people, they're a little leery when you talk to them at first. And when you say, this is just to give you information, can you get his website? Then they are so thankful. I've talked to a lot of people into voting for Matt. A lot of undecideds. I think I've had one person say they're voting for Dave Joyce, and I made a lot of calls. So that's why it's so important. These people, they don't know if they're undecided. You give them a call. A lot of people say he voted for the omnibus bill. They're ready. He needs to get out of there. Then you get some that already know. But anyway, so here's how we're doing it. You'll get a sheet of 5. You take about a week. There's a sheet of a group of 5 sheets here. We have a sign-up sheet back there. You can give a call when you're done, let Chuck know. But seriously, it's not as bad as it sounds. We're only up to E's here. We got some G's going. We need to get these calls done. And just look at it this way. If you talk 5 people into voting for Matt, in a day, that's super good. So it's really not that hard. If you're willing to do it, you can come up back here and sign up, and I'll give you your sheets. Okay? Oh, also about the buttons, there's lots of buttons. I wear my Matt Lynch button everywhere. Even if people don't ask me, they see the name and they remember. So you shouldn't go out without your Matt Lynch button.
One last announcement.
Hi. As you see, I got Ted Cruz all over my shirt here. There is a group now in Ohio called Ted Cruz Warriors. It started going the day after I talked with you a month ago. And there are 2 people that are running the whole show, and one is James Knox and the other is Julie Price. And there are committees per county. We're called chairs. There's 7 of us, in Lake County. I am one of them. Paul Prince is another. And where's the other person? He's in the back of the room.
Chuck Thompson.
Chuck Thompson. These, the three. There's another one, Harry Burt. Some of you would know who he is. And there are others that I don't know. There is a sheet in the back of the room that Chuck brought in. They need plenty of volunteers. I have a sheet in the back. There are a number of people that have already volunteered. There's people in this room, Chuck and Nancy, Carol and her husband, and you volunteered. Okay, so what's happening? A lot of things are happening. Here is a piece of literature that has been made, and is from Keep the Promise. It is a pact that provides literature for candidates, and they're providing the literature for Ted Cruz for Ohio. The program is self-funded. In other words, we as people in Ohio, if you're interested in Cruz, there is a sheet here that I have, you can collect. The sheet has Keep the Promise on how to go onto that website and donate. There's another one on this sheet, it's the Ted Cruz organization. You can go on that sheet and you can donate that way. And there's another one that says you can go onto that website and you can volunteer. What are the volunteers going to do? We have to do the same thing for Ted Cruz. If you're interested in Ted, you have to do the same thing that we've been doing for Matt and for Lori. We have.
Just a question.
Yes.
People are going to deliver their bags.
What?
When people deliver their bags, can they add the?
No, that's the crazy part. The reason why you can't is the fact that this is a pact, and the pact is providing the information, so these have to go out separate. And I've already done 50 of these in one precinct. We didn't get that many. We hope by the weekend, I think it's by the weekend, they hope to have a whole like pallets delivered, and Paul Prince is the one that's coordinating this for Lake County, and he goes and gets the material. So there's going to be, not beyond this, there's going to be for every volunteer, you're going to get a shirt. There are stickers that you can pick up. There's a basket on the table. If you want a sticker for Ted Cruz that you can wear, that's all we've got right now. We don't have buttons. You can get that. What you can put in what we've been handing out, you can put this in. This is okay. This is from Ted Cruz organization, and it's not being paid for by a pact. So you can put this, you can put this in the bags. So this is okay to put in. I have got another one that I just printed today. Ted just wrote this out to Dear Liberty Leaders. This presents a detailed explanation of where he stands on a lot of issues. That's in the back of the room. Signing up if you want to be a volunteer. There's another thing. Over on the table over there is a sign-up sheet. If you want signs. Signs are coming. We're not sure when, but they're coming, right? And the big thing is to get the signs out. And the one interesting thing that might be coming is somebody's bringing 4x8 signs from Iowa. Big, huge signs. And they're going to be distributed all over the state. They're coming in, I'm not sure when. The biggest thing is money, unfortunately. You hear about this all the time. The biggest thing is money. And as far as the publicity and producing all this, that we have to, it's being funded by this PAC, and who's funding the PAC? We are. So a lot of us have already donated to the PAC. Some people have donated a lot. The interesting thing about it is there are 1,700 volunteers right now in the state of Ohio. Every county has a Cruz organization chairs that are organizing everything, I think except for 2 counties. And this has all happened in the last 3 weeks. So if you are interested in helping for TED, if you're any kind of interest in helping for TED, there is going to be, I think it's called